so when we're stressed, it's really hard to change. When we're stressed, it's really not a time to change. It's not a time to create, and it's not a time to learn. So then this is a mechanism that's primitive in our biology. And to be able to tame the animal so that the animal self, so it's no longer in a state of readiness, trying to always predict the worst case scenario, just so you could be ready if it happens. It turns out that that's the conversion of those survival states into a state of creation. We've discovered some really important things about it. And if you teach people how to convert from that sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, if you teach them how to trade resentment and impatience and frustration, justified or not, that's doing no good for you, for an elevated emotion, and actually practice making the chemistry that is associated with love. And in the beginning, it's difficult. And so if you place your attention on your heart, we discovered that there's a very low frequency that you can measure that actually goes up, that's indigenous to what the heart needs in terms of a life force to beat. So where you place your attention is where you place your energy, and all the things you can place your attention on, place it on your heart. Now, slow your breathing down, and if you can slow your breathing down, you can take your body out of that state of readiness. And when you slow your breathing down, you slow your brain waves down, and your body starts to move out of that state of sympathetic arousal. Practice feeling elevated emotions with your heart: kindness, care, love, appreciation, gratitude, and you'll get good at feeling that way if you keep doing it. So then when a person's in that state, the heart in and of itself, when it's activated like that, gets super organized. It gets coherent, and it sends a signal to the brain, literally in the form of information, to tell the brain, the survival system, to shut down, that the amygdala, literally, the lights go out. It resets the baseline for the trauma in the brain, and the body moves out of survival. And now it wants to create. And the heart informs the brain to get creative, and the brain goes into these beautiful, organized alpha brainwave patterns. And in alpha, we tend to imagine, we tend to create, we tend to dream. So the heart informs the brain, it's time to create. That's, I think, when we're in that state of inspiration where we're actually falling in love with what we're creating. We're bonding to that creation. And the stronger the emotion we feel, the more we remember that future. And I think that's how people really begin to make those changes. Now, getting there is a daily practice. Getting there is something that you have to keep doing. So the block for us to feel love is that if we're living in survival, you have to make up your mind that state is not a state to create, and break away from the people in your life and your schedule and your phone and all the obligations you have long enough to reset just for a little period of time and to remember. Yeah. So you don't forget. I think that's where it becomes super valuable.
Yeah, I think you hit on a really important nerve there, this idea that we're living in a constant state of stress. And when I think about our community who are thinking about dating, and I think about friends in my life that are trying to find romantic love, especially in their life, and their feeling around dating mentally, physically, emotionally is stressful.